So, yellow cab drivers can be so rude. I mean, just rude for no reason. Like, just because you drive throughout the city all day and you have people jumping in and out of your car, it doesn't give you the right to talk to people like they not shit. Like, and the people who do the dispatching, they just say, I got it, I understand you, and then they don't even really put the stuff in. I feel bad for people who are in wheelchairs and need a wheelchair accessible van because, like, for instance, my mom had to go somewhere to one of her doctor appointments, and I called in advance and I set it up and I gave them her phone number because I wouldn't be available at that time. So I gave them the phone number. I set everything up. I gave them the gate code. I did everything that I could possibly do. And lo and behold, this man calls me and he's yelling and screaming and just all at the top of his lungs. And he's African. He had this heavy accent. And I'm like, okay, sir, calm down. What are you saying? What are you trying to tell me? And then he tells me that it's not even a wheelchair accessible van after we go through all of this. So that means that the person who put it in didn't put it in right, even though I stated it, because I say the same shit every time I call. It's like a reoccurring thing. I always give the same spiel: phone number, address, drop off address, second contact number, gate code, wheelchair accessible van. Like, those things don't matter because these people that are taking the orders, they don't care. They don't care. So this man comes and we can't use his services. Okay. So I call back and the lady tells me, she told me, she said, yeah, whoever put this order in didn't put it in right. It doesn't say this. It didn't have this on it. Didn't have that, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, this is crazy. All of this shouldn't be happening. So, they called my mom's phone for the pickup on the way back. And the man is like, I see my mom talking, so I walk over and I'm like, what's going on? And I can hear the man yelling at her through the phone. Now, a lot of these pickups, they ask you when you set the pickup, whether the people put it in or not, they ask you, like, is this a business? Is this a residence? Is this a medical clinic? And people are getting picked up from medical clinics. And then after they sit for 4 hours or whatever and go through dialysis or whatever type of treatment that they're going through, then they have to get out and get in this rude ass man's car. And so, he pulls up and he starts yelling at my mother. And I'm like, hold on a second. This is what you're not going to do. You're not going to talk to my mother crazy. You're not going to yell at her because she's new and she's not from here. I gave you the address. You should have followed it the first time. And I'm not other and I'm not talking loud and I'm not talking rude. Them type of people need to be fucking reported. Like, report them. Just call and report them. Because they don't understand that when they do that, that messes up their money. It's like they come to the city from wherever in the world. I don't care where you come from. But they come here to the city, which is a great melting pot. But you have to learn how to have patience and get along with everybody. You have to get along with people. You're out here driving strangers in the street and you want to talk to them crazy and then tell them to get into your car and then drop them off and you want a payment. You want a payment, and not only do you want a payment, you want a payment and a tip. So, I told my mom when she first got here, I showed her that she needs to tip, the people because it's something that's important, especially if you're in a wheelchair and they strap you in and they have a nice disposition about them and blah, blah, blah. So today she had a tip in her hand. I snatched that money out of her hand and gave that man $1. And, sometimes we have to tip, we tip $5-10. I mean, I've tipped someone $15, and the ride isn't that far. So that's, more than adequate. But, be careful with these yellow cab drivers because when I first moved to Houston, I got put out of a yellow cab. I told my mom this before because the man was going too slow. We were on the main street here. The speed limit is 40 and the man was driving literally 20. I thought he was trying to get around somebody or something. It was raining a little bit. And I told the man, I said, sir, I have somewhere to be. Can you speed up? He got loud and shit and was like, get out of my taxi. And I got out in the middle of the rain. Like, you've already driven me so far and now you're not getting any money because you want to be rude. And then a lot of these men, they don't like women to talk to them, because they come from these countries where it's not okay for women to speak up. Well, you're in the wrong place if that's how you feel. Because this is Houston and this is America first and it's Houston second. And women can say what they want to say. We don't have to just be scared. So, it is what it is. Just be careful when it comes towards getting in these taxis and arguing with these drivers and all of these different things, because you don't know what mindset these people are in. And they're driving and they're in a community. They should have a better disposition about themselves. I already said that. I don't know how many times I can reiterate that. But I'm trying to find better taxi drivers, and I'm trying to find a better system. Now, another system is put in place, but we have to use this temporary system until, our other system is put in place. But these taxi drivers can just be too much, man. If you've had a bad taxi situation, put your comment under. If you have good taxi situations, if you have any type of advice that you can give me about how to stick to maybe 1 or 2 taxi drivers, that'll work. Just anything. I know people in other cities that use taxis way more than we do, and they've been through some crazy things on taxis as well. But I just think, for the small runs that we're doing, I think that this is a little bit stressful. It could be stressful on the person, and I don't play that. I meet my mom. I don't put her in her taxi nowhere. I put her in the taxi. I meet her. I go back and get her. I put her in the taxi and I follow them home. I tell the man to follow me, or I follow him if he know where he going. I don't do that. I don't put her in the taxi and be like, okay, well, y'all have a good day. I drive alongside, behind, in front, because I need to make sure that she's okay. So I put that effort in, but sometimes you can't do that all the time. And you have to just be careful if you're putting a loved one or a disabled loved one in a taxi, because it can just be, stressful for them in general. So that's my take on things with this yellow cab. I just ain't never seen taxi drivers so angry in all my life. And what the hell are you angry about? You going a few miles and you getting paid for it. Ooh, sigh. So let me know if you have any bad taxi experiences, any good taxi experiences. Subscribe. Let me know what you think. If there's anything we need to talk about, let me know. Peace out, y'all. Be safe in these taxis.